What's in my bag videos are not a new concept, but this is my travel carry-on skincare bag. I know this looks like a very large bag for my carry-on, but it's important stuff. And I've been traveling a lot lately, so I thought we'd open it up and see what's in my bag. All right, so first off, I know I look very bougie with my Chanel bag. I didn't pay for this. This was sent to me in PR. This is the best thing a brand has ever sent me in PR, and it was this big poofy bag. It's actually very light. It feels like one of those poofy jackets. If you follow me on social media, like outside of YouTube, mostly on Instagram, you've probably seen that I have been traveling a lot lately, mostly for work. I moved to Miami. I've been going to Los Angeles. I've been going to the UK a lot. You know, I'm starting to just like go to a lot of different places. So my carry-on skincare has actually become really important because even if I am checking a bag and I have even more skincare, because I always do have more skincare in my bag that I check, there's not a guarantee that that's gonna make it. Especially these days. I feel like we keep hearing all these nightmare stories of people's bags getting left at different airports or just like never making it, or they can't find, it's just, I feel like it's gotten worse, right? So I always pack the things I will need, the basics of my skincare routine, and also the products that I'm gonna be using maybe on the airplane in my carry-on. So that's what we're gonna find in here. Okay, so first, I obviously carry a hand cream, again, sent in PR. Same time. Chanel hand cream. Do I think this is the best hand cream I've ever used? No, but I actually think what makes this hand cream amazing is that I love the packaging of this. This little, almost like oval egg shaped packaging and the way it squirts out. It's so awesome to travel with. I always keep a hand cream with me, especially on an airplane. You're constantly washing your hands, at least I'm constantly washing my hands. So I reapply hand cream all throughout my flight. This is used a lot. And also just in travel in general, when I land somewhere, this will end up going into my purse. I don't think this is a surprise at all. I always have sunscreen with me. And I think that if there are any skincare products specifically that you should have on an airplane, it is sunscreen. And I can understand why anybody would be confused about wearing it on an airplane, because you feel like, you know, you're on the airplane, hopefully you're closing the window. Would you actually get any exposure to the sun anyway? But the answer is you actually get a lot of sun exposure on the airplane. Like think about even just like the process of, you know, getting to the airport, getting on the airplane, the sun exposure that you get, right? When you get on the airplane, you also get a lot of sun exposure, especially if the windows are open. I know for instance, myself, I love to look out the window when the plane is taking off, especially like leaving Los Angeles or leaving Miami, you get this beautiful view of the ocean. So I love to have the window open. But as you get higher into the air, you get so much more UV exposure. And even though you have a window, it's not protecting you from UVA exposure. You are still getting that exposure. So sunscreen is actually so important for the airplane. I usually am not a big fan of doing a skincare routine on an airplane, but if there's anything I'm going to for sure reapply on an airplane, it's gonna be sunscreen. So I always keep like a normal moisturizing sunscreen with me, just in case. This is also like if I land, my bag doesn't arrive, I at least know I have my moisturizer / sunscreen in one. So this one is from Roche-Posay. This is their Anthelios UVmune 400. This is the one that you can only get in Europe, the version that you can get in Europe. I have not used the version from the US, but this one I love. I mean, I'm almost out of this one. This is like the second tube that I have of this, and it's amazing. This is great. And I've been using this one from Abib. I got this in PR from Yes Style, and it's been pretty good. You know what I like about this one? It's almost like a deodorant stick for your face. It's pretty matte when you apply it to your skin, and it's easy to use. It glides really easily. I don't know if I have like major thoughts on it yet, but I always carry a stick sunscreen. That way, if I am going to reapply it, I don't have to touch my face on the airplane. So this is why I carry a stick. I really like that. Speaking of sun protection, you've heard me talk about this brand before, Inner Glow Age Defense Vitamins. I've always been a fan of HelioCare. You guys have heard me talk about that supplement. It has the same main ingredient that fights free radical damage. It's the Polypodium leucotamus. I don't know how to say it exactly, but it's an antioxidant. It comes from ferns. It basically gives you inner protection from the sun. It does not replace your sunscreen. But if you're a person like me who immediately gets discoloration just from any sun exposure because you have melasma or you're just prone to it, it's amazing to take a supplement like this. The reason why I like this, I'm starting to really like this more than HelioCare, is because They have also made this just like a supplement in general. So in here you get vitamin C, you get calcium, you get iron, you get sodium, which I don't even know why I would need that for. There's also probiotics in here. And then they have this really great antioxidant just blend. There are so many really great ingredients in here. I had a really great chat with the founder of the brand, and she was just telling me all about it. She has 3 plastic surgery / dermatology practices in the DC area. She shares this practice with her husband, who is a plastic surgeon. And a lot of their patients are actually people with skin cancer. So they are very familiar with skin cancer. Obviously, you talk to any dermatologist and they have a lot to say about skin cancer, but they're very passionate about it. The dermatologist behind this brand, you could just tell she's very passionate about this. This brand is her baby. She really is doing so much research to make sure that these are amazing supplements. So I'm a big fan of these. I take this every day. It's 2 tablets. The tablets look like they're gonna be a little bit large, and maybe they're gonna be a little bit hard to swallow, or you know, if you've ever had that problem with supplements where you burp and you can like taste it later, you do not get that with these. I think this is the way of the future. I think sun protection in general, like different ways to further protect your skin, is just gonna become a bigger and bigger topic. So I'm gonna keep my eye on this brand for sure. And of course it comes with me, because if I forget to take it before I get on the airplane because I'm in a hurry, I know I have them with me. And also, again, when I land, I wanna make sure that this is something I have to take daily. All right, what else do we have in here? Sheet masks. I don't necessarily think anybody needs a sheet mask, and they're not necessarily great for the environment. But do I love a sheet mask while I'm traveling? I do. I love a good sheet mask while I'm traveling specifically. When you travel, I just feel like your skin gets so much drier. You don't know what climate you're gonna end up in. You don't know how your skin's gonna react. You just need a little bit more nourishment, and having a sheet mask on, especially after I land. Like my whole thing is I do my skincare routine before I get on the airplane, and then I try not to touch my face at all while I'm on the airplane, except to reapply some sunscreen. And you'll see I have Aquaphor with me at all times as well. Lip balm, that kind of stuff, hand lotion, like that's the majority of what I do on most flights. And then as soon as I land, I always try to schedule my flight. Sometimes it's impossible, you might have a meeting or something, whatever. That's a whole different topic. But I always try to schedule my flight so that I can land, go to my hotel, and then wash. Like I start a whole new skincare routine. And this is why I tell people not to worry so much about their actual skincare routine on an airplane. Make sure you schedule to like handle your skincare before and after your flight. That's the best way to do it. So when I land, the first thing I do after I get out of the shower is I throw on a sheet mask, because I feel like it just helps to soothe my skin. It kind of almost like becomes the like, it gets me to like base. Like this is how I want my skin to be. It feels more nourished, it feels very soothed, it feels hydrated, and then I can move on with my skincare routine. So I always love carrying sheet masks with me. These 2 are the Roche-Posay Cicaplast B5 masks. I think actually Sam by the Counter on Instagram sent these to me. He's like my skincare pen pal. We like send each other products and things that we like and stuff. So he sent me a few of these a while back, and I tried one of them and I was like, ooh, I gotta start throwing these into my bag. So these are coming with me. And then I also like this from Rovectin, Lotus Water Calming Sheet Mask. For some reason, I really like the name of this brand. So I'm just like partial to the brand because I like the name. I know that's a weird thing, but there are so many brands out there these days. You gotta find the things that set them apart, that make you like them. So I picked these because these are calming. Calming's a great word that I look for. Soothing, nourishing, those are the words I'm looking for when I want travel sheet masks. So that's why I chose these. Haha. This is one of the only times you're gonna see me be like, oh yeah, I have to have micellar water with me. And I don't necessarily have the bottle of micellar water with me. I make my own wipes, but they're not really wipes. What I do is I will take a Ziploc bag, put a couple cotton pads in there, and then pour micellar water into the cotton, and then I close it up, and then I have my own micellar water just ready to go. And the reason why I do this is because when you are traveling, you do not know what could happen, right? Like I actually have had a layover before. It was the middle of the winter. It was a layover in Minnesota, and the plane could not leave. So we got stuck overnight in Minnesota, and I just, you know, like if my bag hadn't made it or something, I wouldn't have had a way to cleanse my skin. So I always think about that. So I make sure that I have this because I'm not necessarily traveling with a cleansing oil, cleansing balm. Sometimes if I have a travel size cleansing balm, I'll throw it into my carry-on bag. But I just feel like this is easier to have because it's like a one-time situation, like in case you need it like that one night because you don't have, access to all your stuff or something. So I make sure to carry this with me. I feel like it's just really helpful. Like, I feel like it's just like easy to have to like clean stuff up even. Like if you're on a flight, I don't know how to explain it. It's very helpful to have just some pre-soaked micellar water cotton pads. Speaking of cleanser, I always carry a cleanser with me too. I picked this up last time I was in Paris. It sounds like I like travel all the time. I went to Paris a few months ago and I picked this up from Roche-Posay. It's their Toleriane Dermo cleanser. It's a travel sized one. I like having a cream cleanser with me on my carry-on bag because again, when you land, I don't know why this happens. When you travel, I feel like your chances of having some kind of a skin irritation just rises. I don't know why. I don't think there are studies about this, but I know people understand what I'm talking about. You get to a new climate after being on an airplane for how many hours, and then suddenly your skin is acting in a way that you didn't know that it was gonna do this. Like you have some kind of reaction. I've even stayed at a hotel where something that they used to clean the sheets or something made my skin react. Or, I landed somewhere and the climate was so dry that my skin just was irritated. Anything like that can happen. You might eat something. There are all these factors when you travel that can irritate your skin. So I like to have a calming cream cleanser with me because you can also use this to double cleanse. I have not used this one yet. I literally just threw it into my carry-on bag, but that's really what happens is I choose something that's gonna be a really gentle cream cleanser just so I have that with me. So I have two kinds of cleansers with me on this carry-on. Again, sometimes it can be a mini cleansing balm that I'll throw into my carry-on too. Sometimes it's a whole different cleanser. Sometimes I even have cleanser lab samples with me from my own brand. So whatever it is, I have some sort of double cleanse situation in my carry-on bag. I also really like my supplements. I don't talk about my supplements a lot because I don't want people to think that they need supplements. I'm just really into it. It's like you can take me out of Los Angeles, but you can't take the Los Angeles out of me. I love my vitamin D supplements. This is from a brand called the Nue Co. This is their vitamin D. It's like a little spray. Supports immune function and absorption of essential minerals. But you spray this, I'm so into the sprays. I don't know why. Just for any kind of supplement. You spray this under your tongue. Actually, I haven't done it today. 3 times, does not taste bad. And you get your vitamin D. I am also low in vitamin D, so I need it. So this isn't necessarily for everybody, but I really like carrying this with me too. By the way, I've been vitamin D deficient for years, before I even became religious about my sunscreen, so has nothing, even when I was a sun goddess in my 20s, I still was vitamin D deficient. And they say there's some correlation with vitamin D deficiency and hypothyroidism and all that kind of stuff and whatever. So I need my vitamin D. I've been told by my doctor. It helps with everything. So I get my vitamin D. On the airplane, a little mini Aquaphor. Aquaphor is really amazing to have in travel instances because one, on an airplane specifically, you can use it as lip balm. I don't necessarily use it as my lip balm, but you can. If you have suddenly dry patches, irritation, anything like that, Aquaphor. If you get a cut, Aquaphor. If your nasal passages get dry, a little Aquaphor up the nose. There are so many reasons to have Aquaphor with you. All right, let's see. There are just a few more things. I think hand sanitizer in whatever shape or form is really great to have. Lately, I've been carrying these little tiny alcohol wipes. They're hand sanitizing alcohol wipes. And the reason why I've been carrying that, and this started with the pandemic, right? Over the last few years, I just started carrying these kinds of wipes because I am a germaphobe lately, right? More so than I used to be, not as intense as maybe some other people. I like having these obviously for my hands. I like having these because I can wipe down surface areas. I just think that these are great to have. They're also easy to use on my kids and stuff. So I like having this. I do like having a spray as well. But again, when you're on an airplane, anything that's a spray, if you really think about it on an airplane, is kind of invasive to your neighbors, right? So I like having these on an airplane. And by the way, I just picked these up at the airport. When I'm, in the little bodegas or whatever that are inside the airport, this is where I get these. Moisturizer. So let's think about the skincare routine in here. So I said that I basically carry the bare minimum of what I would need in a skincare routine in my carry-on bag in case my checked bag doesn't make it, right? Moisturizer would be one. This is, again, I got these at the same time. Roche-Posay, Toleriane. This is their Dermallergo cream. I assume this is very similar to the Toleriane moisturizer that I like that they sell in the US as well. So I picked this up. Both are really great. very gentle. And you know, I'll tell you again, the reason why I like traveling with this La Roche-Posay, this is actually one of the reasons why I just love this moisturizer in general, because again, when you travel, you don't know what kind of irritation you might experience. And I love that the La Roche-Posay Toleriane products are actually made without preservatives. Hear me out. I am a big fan of preservatives. I think your skincare needs it. But sometimes that tingly feeling that you get from certain products and stuff like that, when your skin is compromised, if you get that tingly feeling, it could be because of the preservatives. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't mean that it's ruining your skin, but it's sometimes uncomfortable if you have an irritation. The Toleriane collection is made for sensitive skin or irritations. And the reason why I love this is because they don't put actual preservatives into the formula, but it has a preservative system. So there are preservatives. There is a way to preserve here. There are no bacteria growing in these products. And that is because of the way that they do the packaging. So the packaging is really, really cool when it comes to the Toleriane products. So this is why I like traveling with this. And it's also really small, easy to use. This is one of my favorite like holy grail products, the US one. Okay. Next up, lip balm. I don't necessarily always carry all colors, but I am carrying my favorite colors right now, and clear is my favorite color. But these are the NATURIUM Phyto-Glow lip balms. I always have these with me. I always at the very least have this one. I feel like I always have the petal with me. Sometimes I even use this at nighttime. I obviously am very biased, but I think that these are the best lip sleeping masks out there in the world. Like I can't tell you a better lip mask than these. That's all I'm gonna say. But I always have one of these with me. I am a lip balm fanatic. I have said this so many years if you've followed me. These are my two favorite colors, Petal and Jam. And I wanted to show you something also. We recently changed the tips of these lip balms to not be metal anymore. One, because we wanted the product to dispense a little bit easier, but two, we actually were able to bring down the price of our Phyto-Glow lip balm. So they're like $10 each. I actually think that the new applicators look really pretty too, because we made them match the tubes. So cute, right? So I just wanted to throw it out there that you might start seeing the Phyto-Glow lip balm without the metal applicator. Let me show you because I still have these ones too. This is the metal applicator. And now we have the new applicator. So cute. Anyway, so yeah, if you see that, it's a real thing. Just wanted to throw that out there. But I always have lip balm with me, and it's always NATURIUM Phyto-Glow lip balm. And last, is it necessary? No. Does it make my life better? Possibly. I always like carrying some kind of a aromatherapy rollerball situation like that. Again, I feel like sprays are very invasive to your neighbors on the airplane, but rollerballs, that's nice. As long as it's not like too strong of a scent, especially when it's a scent. You don't want to spray like perfume basically into the air. This is by Aromatherapy Associates in conjunction with Liberty London. This is called Clear Mind. And I just love just having like this kind of aromatherapy with me when I'm traveling, especially because it just helps me get into a clear mind. It helps me if I'm going to sleep, like if I'm having a hard time settling at the hotel because I'm in a new place or something. Just any of it. Even if I get like a headache on the airplane, having some aromatherapy with me has always helped. And this is something I started doing when I was first pregnant, and all throughout pregnancy, I was like really relying on aromatherapy rollerballs like this. And so now I'm just a big fan of it because I really felt like it always helped me, and I do feel like it continues to help me. So that's everything I had in my travel carry-on skincare bag. If you guys have any questions, or you feel like there are other things I should be carrying, or you feel like any of this is unnecessary, please tell me in the comments below. I'm always willing to listen. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm at Susan Yara, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.